teaser. Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna do a makeup video, but I'm not going to introduce any of my why is it so messy? Please stay. Actually, I've been sick like for this whole week. I have a running nose at the moment, so my health situation is worse. But at least I can speak. At least I have time to film a YouTube channel. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So in today's video, I'm going to do a makeup video kind of thing. Actually, I'm not really into like cosmetic thing. So I will just show you guys how I do my makeup, but I honestly cannot tell you guys like what kind of product I'm using, because I just randomly buy something that my friends recommend, or I just don't really have a preference on cosmetic like makeup products. So I don't know, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment down below, so I will just like search. So I'll try to like search like what kind of product I'm using, and I'll reply to your comments, okay? For now, I have no idea, so let's see how it goes. All right, so first of all, I'll use this one. Sorry, still coughing. So I'm using this one. I have one older sister. She's just 1 year older than me. And when my sister went to Disneyland with her friends, she gave it to me. Ever since, I've been using this, so like it looks so old and a bit like dirty, but who cares? All right. Oh my god, dude, I have a little rash around here, but please don't care about this. Like, this is very chronic symptom for me, like since kindergarten. This is one of the vocabulary that I cannot pronounce correctly. Kindergarten. Oh my gosh, can I search for a phonetic symbol right now? Can I pause a little bit and then go and get my tablet? Please allow me to go. That's really hard for me. Like, I have a feeling that I'm pronouncing it wrong. This is like actually my routine. Like, whenever I found a word that I cannot pronounce correctly, I literally search for the phonetic alphabet, or like IPA, or like, you know, the phonetic symbols, because that's the only way to know the correct pronunciation. So I try to do it every time. So let's do it.
Kindergarten.
Can you see? Oh, here.
Kindergarten.
Okay. Slow down.
Kindergarten.
Garden. Kindergarten. 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 Okay, since kindergarten, I think I sound much better than before. Oops, I forgot what I was gonna say. Since kindergarten. Oh yeah. Since kindergarten, I have like kind of like rash problem, like my skin problem. So this is quite normal for me. Well, whenever I feel like stressed out, or like whenever I feel some anxiety, I get this symptom. Yeah, so you know the reason why from the previous video. If you haven't watched it, go and check it. Like, I've been stressing out so much. So I'm kind of like trying to recover from everything that is stressing me out. Okay, let's get started. All right, let's get started. This is a sunscreen just in case. All right. So while I'm doing makeup, I decided to answer your questions. Maybe it's gonna be a good idea to answer your questions. What do you think? Yeah, let's do it. I found the story. So this one, remember this? If you remember this story, I'll try to answer your questions, okay? おめでとうございます。オーストラリアで行ってよかったスポットあれば教えてください。Let me answer this in English, okay? I finished putting this sunscreen on, so let's move on to the. Oh, this is only okay. This might be personal information, so I try to hide from you guys. I'm sorry. So the next thing that I have to do is this one. I don't even know what this is, but this is a makeup base. So I'm going to put this one on my... So what was the question? オーストラリアで行ってよかったスポットあれば教えてください。Definitely beaches. One of the great places that I went was... Oh, it's really hard to choose just one. So I've been to Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne in Australia. And specifically in Sydney, I really liked the private beach. Oh, no, a different one. Oh, actually, it's like specifically in Sydney, I really liked the... I don't know, it's not like a specific place. I think it doesn't even have a name. There is a place where you can see the great, like, beautiful Sydney view. Okay? So it's really hard to explain because as that place is not like sightseeing place or anything, like little park. It's just like a place where you can see a great like city view as well as the harbor, bridge and opera house at the same time. If I have the picture, I'll put it here, but yeah, I really like to go there at night because I just love the view. And during the daytime, I've also been there in the daytime and also at night, but I especially like to go there at night because when I went there like at probably at 2 or 3 p.m. there were a lot of people right across that place. There is a like amusement park called Luna Park. Luna Park is a very, very famous like amusement park in Australia. So yeah, this is that Luna Park is definitely one of the most famous like sightseeing spot. But I guess this is pretty much for kids, not for adults. I've been there once and I felt so embarrassed because most of the attractions like roller coasters and everything is pretty much designed for kids, and like majority of people who are in the line were kids. Not like there were like literally no adults. They're like a group of family or just like group of kids or students. So I feel so embarrassed when I went there with my ex-boyfriend because that place, my favorite place to see the beautiful city view, that place is very close to the Luna Park. So if you go there in the daytime, maybe there are so many people around and a bit nosy, right? As I said, there's an amusement park right across the place, so there are so many kids and babies crying around, so it's nice, but I like it better at night, so I recommend you to go there at night. Okay, question number 2. やってみたい英語を使った職業は何ですか? The occupation that I want to try using English. Oh yeah, there is one job that when I was a child, that was like one of my dream jobs. But when I said this to my mom, like my mom said like, ew, you can find a much better job if you like when you grow up. It's like, I thought this is really cool. The job that I wanted to do when I was a child is the person who makes an announcement in the airport. Does it make sense? Like, so I didn't even know the name of the occupation, so I asked ChatGPT and she said the person making announcement in the airport is usually called an airport announcer. Okay, airport announcer, okay. They're responsible for communicating important information such as boarding calls, flight delays, and other announcement over the airport's public address system. Yes, sometimes their role is part of a larger job such as customer service agent or gate agent. No, that's not my dream job. But I just wanted to make an announcement in English, and yeah, because when I went to the airport for the first time, I heard the announcement. The person must be Japanese because she had a really thick Japanese accent in her English. But yeah, she was making an announcement in English, and I'm sorry for saying this, but that was terrible. That sounded terrible. Like, even like, I was 16 years old at the time, but even 16 years of myself noticed that this is not the right pronunciation. Like, that was, I'm sorry for saying this, but that was terrible. So I was like, Is this really like, can this really be accepted as an announcement? Because I didn't understand, and like I was pretty sure that non-native English speaker can understand her accent because that was too Japanese. But anyway, ever since I heard that announcement call, I thought like, oh, I wanna do this job. Let me fix this. I'm sorry, I'm so bossy, you know. I'm so bossy. Like, let me fix this. Like, what am I saying? I'm sorry. Okay, concealer. I'm not gonna use my finger for this. I'm gonna use this little brush. So next question. 自分の発音が合ってるかはどうやって確認できますか? I don't know, I don't use any tool to check my pronunciation. Like, I know some people download some like application to check their pronunciation, but I don't do it because too much hassle. For me, just as I did in the kindergarten, I feel like I can identify whether I am making mistakes or I'm pronouncing it correctly. So I have a good ear, probably. So I can like easily notice that, oh, this is wrong and this is right. So this person asked me, どうやって確認できますか? My question would be like, I'm doing it by myself. Next question. TOEIC 学習のモチベの保ち方. For TOEIC, モチベか. It's really hard to answer. When I was like studying for TOEIC, I was making a little like tangocho thing. I'll show you. So like when I was studying for TOEIC, this is a TOEIC box for me. Like there are so many though. Since when I was a child, I really like crafting something. So like I really like to make something like this by myself. TOEIC. I know that like some people don't really like, you know, making these kind of thing, but this was actually best studying method for me. Like I was just enjoying making these like flashcards. Every place I go, I try to carry these, and like while I'm on a train, rather than like scrolling on my phone, I try to practice with this flashcard as much as possible. So this is kind of like how I memorize all the necessary vocabulary for TOEIC. Well, for TOEIC, I made a video, so I'll put the link up here, right here. So please check that out. I don't really think motivation really exists. So yeah, please don't really think about the motivation. Like no matter what you have to do. Okay, this is all up to your mindset. It's not like let me weigh up the pros and cons of taking TOEIC, or it's not like thinking about like, oh, will I be able to do it? Will I be able to pass this test or whatever? Next question. 英語喋るとき声が低くなってしまうんですが、自分だけですか? What do you think? What do you think? I don't really think myself. It's not like I'm lowering the voice, but I'm just changing how I move my mouth, and it automatically changes my pitch of my voice. Yeah. Why am I putting my lipstick right now? Wait, oh, it's okay. In general, I know, like in general, I know this has to be the last part of the makeup, but oh my gosh, I don't know why I put this one here. So usually the next thing I do is like putting some powder on. It's actually really hard to do these two things at the same time. When I do my makeup, I really don't speak, right? I'm just like focusing on putting makeup on. So, ooh, look at my hand. Sometimes I forgot to do whatever the things that I was like doing. But anyway, next question. リスニングは YouTube 見まくって伸びたけど、リーディングは何がおすすめですか? For reading, 何がおすすめですか? Oh, I hated reading actually. This is only my personal opinion, but for reading, the problem is not like what kind of method you're trying. Your method, like what kind of textbook you're using, what kind of platform you're using, it doesn't really matter. What matters the best when it comes to reading is how much are you experienced? How much time have you actually spent on reading? That's all that matters. That's all you have to care about. So the question was how, like what kind of things do I have to do, or like how do I study reading? But the question should be more like how much do I have to do? Quantity over quality, I would say. Okay, next one. 多読と精読はどちらがいいですか? Like reading a lot versus studying grammar and vocabulary while you're reading. Good question. Because if you know like 80% or 90% of English grammar and vocabulary, you don't really have to do 精読 anymore. Because you automatically know what this sentence is saying, what the person is saying. You don't even think about the grammar, you don't even think about the vocabulary, but you would automatically understand what it means. So, which means you don't have to do 精読 anymore. The person who needs to do 精読 is those people who don't really understand, even though they listen to it, even though they actually read it, still they have to take more time to understand, to absorb, to kind of like digest what this sentence is saying. So those people need 精読. But for me, I don't do 精読 anymore. Like if I find some like complex sentence that I didn't understand after reading once, I do 精読. I do like, oh, this is SVOC, this is like Keiyoshi, this is like bunshi thing, like 精読. I do it. When I don't understand, after listening or after reading it once. So if this person is asking me 多読 or 精読, my answer is 精読 for you. I think 多読 is best for those people who have like advanced English skill. Like the more they read, of course, the more knowledge they get, and you know, their English skill will be better and better. That's quite natural, right? Please do 精読 more. So next thing is eyeshadow. I don't really like to wear eyeshadow because I have a very swollen eye, so I don't really want to put much eyeshadow. You know this brand Mecca? I think this is an Australian brand. If you go to Australia, you will definitely find this like brand in Sydney. Next question. IELTS 勉強している時のノートとかあったら広い範囲で見てみたいです。IELTS 勉強のノートは This is an IELTS box and this is a TOEIC box. You know, I'm an English otaku, so I have everything in this chest. チェストっていうのこれなんていうのこれなんていうの棚あ、チェストで合ってた。IELTS の勉強してた時のノートが出てきました。なんだよ、こんなこと書いてある。She's more motherly than my mom. 母より母っぽい。彼女は母より母っぽかった。I was so deep into A に集中してたとか、多分スピーキングで自分が言えなかった表現というか、あまり自分が使えないような表現をメモしてたんでしょうね。It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that. So the sentence is, it doesn't mean anything other than the fact that I don't have a set of morning routine. I'm gonna repeat it again for you guys. It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that I don't have a set morning routine. これね、直訳すると結構難しいんだけど、もうなんかそれ以外に言いたいことはないというか、それ以外に意味はない、ただそれだけのことみたいなことを言っているんですよ。It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that I don't have a set morning routine の意味は、それは単に私が決まったモーニングルーティンを持っていないっていうだけなんですよ。っていう意味なんですよ。なんか It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that 何々っていうともうただそれだけのことなんですよって言いたい時にこのフレーズを使うからまあこういうのメモしてたりとかかな。パッと言われたら覚えておかないと難しい文章っていうのがたまに出てくるんですよ。だからそういうのをメモってリスニングとかリーディングとかで言われた時に一瞬で分かるようにしてたりとかしてたかな。あとは There are success story on both sides of spectrum 乱雑に気づいたことをメモしてるんですけど、スペクトラが分かんなくて範囲とか書いてありますね。Define the line between で区切りをつける、線引きするとか今見るとすごい勉強になるな。面白いな。あとはなんかこういう風に普通に単語をバーっと書いてここに折り線ついてるからきっとここで折って単語勉強してたりとかなんかしてたんでしょうね。ここに折り線がついてるのでバーって覚えてたりとかなんだと思います。決まりとか全然作ってなくてなんか思ったことをバーってメモするみたいななんかメモ帳みたいな感じでこのノートは使ってるんだと思いますが、私すごい音楽のジャンルについて聞かれると本当に知識がなくてシンプルにこういう風に知識をつけてたかもしれない。なんかミュージックが聞かれた時のそのミュージックのジャンルの種類Classic music, rock music, live music, pop music, popular music, jazz, funk, soul music, like folk music, hip hop music, dance music, rapper, romantic music とか まずなんか曲のね種類とかっていう話を、したことがなくて、だからそういうね種類をメモしてたりとか。This. Why am I speaking in Japanese? I really have to finish this right now. Next question. 新しいプログラムは超英語初心者が英語勉強を始めるツールとしても利用可能でしょうか？ Oh, this one is yeah, of course. I think this person asked me about the Clacel version 2. Actually, I wanted to introduce you guys like more like officially about this product. As I've been mentioning quite a few times in this channel, I have been making a English learning product where everyone can like learn pronunciation and vocabulary. This is called Clacel version 2. I've already released version 1 last year. Clacel version 1 was only available for 3 months. And after 3 months, I actually stopped selling it because that was really popular. Everyone really enjoyed. I got so many comments that like they really loved that product. They want to keep using it. They even sent me emails that like, please make a next version, like second version. I'm really looking forward to it. And so the reason why I stopped selling it is because I was just an influencer, and as someone who invents some new product, I was so immature. I mean, like inexperienced, I would say. I had to learn marketing, and I had to learn finance, and also I had to learn more about AI, how to utilize AI and how to use like tech skill. Otherwise, I was like really afraid of myself. Like if Clacel version 1 gets more and more popular, which means more and more responsibility I would have, right? If like 2 or 3 people using Clacel, it's really easy to fix and it's really easy to take care of. But it wasn't just 2 or 3 people. There are like 100 people, 600, like more than 600 people actually bought Clacel version 1, and like that was way better than I expected. I was like expecting pretty much like at maximum 300 people, and that's the like highest line. But over 600 people bought that product, Clacel version 1, and I've been like receiving the comments like, oh, I love this product. Please do the 再販お願いします comments. I get that every single day. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting bigger and bigger. And I felt so scared of it because that was like only my first try. And as a product, in this world, there are so many useful like English learning tools, applications, online English lessons. There are language schools, there are professional English teachers, and in this market there are so many like professional application and product, and the Clacel version 1 was just like a baby for me. Clacel version 1 was like my dream tangocho. So I used to learn like tangocho like this very, very old style. And while I was doing this, I was like thinking in my mind, it was like, oh, I want something like this. If I had some like this kind of system, I would really appreciate it. I was like dreaming, oh, I want something like this. And when I was making Clacel version 1, I was like really focusing on pronunciation because pronunciation is really, really important. It gives you confidence. It actually encourages you to study more because it feels so good. When you can speak English with a good pronunciation, it feels so good. It motivates you. Trust me, it motivates you so much better. Like much better than you expect. If you can pronounce it correctly, if you could speak English a little bit like a native English speaker, you feel like, oh my gosh, I love English so much. I want to do this more, But it doesn't happen when you get a good score in TOEIC because it's just like one-time experience. After you took great score in TOEIC or ACAN or whatever English examination, that's like just very temporary motivation, and after a while you lose your motivation, and again you started to feel like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, However, your pronunciation skill is lifelong, and other people, like people surrounding you, they would think your English is freaking amazing. Just because your pronunciation is great, they would think your English is perfect. So that's why I highly recommend you guys to study phonetic alphabet, like phonetic symbols, 発音記号. Yeah, so I knew that pronunciation, if I learn correct pronunciation, I can keep my motivation, I can impress my mom. My mom matters a lot to me, if you know that. So yeah, if I speak in fluent English, people would actually say, oh, your English has been improving a lot. I can actually show how much I have improved my English. But it's really, really difficult to show how much you have improved in your grammar skill, in your vocabulary skill, because it's only measured by exam. Your mom, your friends, if they don't study English, they don't know anything about grammar. They're not going to be amazed by your grammar skill or vocabulary skill because they don't know. You know, if you're using like very technical, like very eloquent, is that the word? Eloquent? You didn't know? Eloquent English. I don't know if it is the right word or not, but yeah, they don't know. Like they have no idea, right? But when it comes to pronunciation, everyone, like almost everyone, they notice, oh, your English skill is good. They know automatically, oh, your English is great. Your English is perfect. You sound like a native English speaker. They understand. So that's why it gives you confidence. So yeah, when I was making Clacel version 1, I thought pronunciation is the key because that's how I learn English. That's how I keep myself motivated. So yeah, Clacel version 1 as well as Clacel version 1 as well as Clacel version 2. This product is mostly focusing on pronunciation and the natural nuance of each word. If you're studying English for an exam or for entrance examination, I wouldn't really recommend Clacel. However, if you want to be fluent in English, if you want to speak like a native English speaker, if you're living abroad, if you want to 暮らせるだからね、暮らしていきたいなら with English, I highly recommend this product for you. Okay? Anyway, what was the question again? 初心者が英語を始めるツールとして利用可能ですか？もちろん of course, please, go ahead and get it. Okay, it's already published, it's already released, it's already available on the website, so please click the link below. I'm sorry I didn't say anything on my YouTube channel, but yeah, I wanted to make an official like announcement video for this channel, so I didn't really have time to make that kind of video, and I was like thinking, oh, what kind of video should I make for this Clacel version 2, whatever, so I've been putting it off. I'm sorry, but it's already available. If you're interested in it, please go and watch it. And yeah, if you liked the concept, if you liked the idea, if you're happy with the price, please get it. 同じ英語学習者に言われて悔しかった思い出はありますか？悔しかった思い出か、めっちゃあるよ、そんなの。悔しかったこと。So, you know, before I started this YouTube channel, I was kind of like a TikToker. Like, because I have like a lot of followers in my TikTok channel. I used to upload video every single day onto TikTok channel. And while I was like really into posting videos on TikTok channel, I get a lot of comments criticizing my English level. 例えばネチョネチョした発音やなとか、あとはどこまで行っても日本人っぽい発音してますねとか、なんだかな、なんか発音についてのコメント I get a lot of comments regarding my pronunciation, and it was one of the most 悔しかった思い出 Yeah, 悔しかったというか、I knew that I don't have to care. I wish I could say I don't give a about, like, I wish I could say like, oh, I don't care. Bullshit. I wish I could say that, but I wasn't. Like, I was really trying to fix my pronunciation, and I was like, every time I get that kind of comments, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I know my pronunciation isn't really good, but I really wanted to improve. Yeah, those comments, probably those comments were like most 悔しかった思い出。仕事に関係なく日常生活で何か考えるときは常に英語ですか？ Nope. No. Most of the time I think in Japanese, so that's why my English is still in this level. I had to try. I had to try more probably. The more I think in English, the more I would improve. So, yeah, I know that I have to think in English more if I want to improve my English. However, if I'm living in Japan, let me continue doing my makeup. Highlight. If I'm living in Japan, like the main language I use every single day is Japanese, right? So the way you think, it's up to what language you use. If you're using Japanese, then you would think in Japanese. If you're using English, then you would think in English. While I was in Sydney, I often thought things in English. I remember that, like when I was doing internship, working in an Australian company. Because I was like talking in English all the time, of course in my brain, I like the things was going on, everything in English. So that's how it works. 英語が語りというか、またオーストラリアにいた時のような英語の Vlog をお願いします。質問ではないのですが。Okay. So you know what? I'm going to Canada, Vancouver next week. Wow, it's next week. Yeah, next week. So I try to do more vlog over there. Wow, I'm so excited! Mascara putting in it. Ooh, look at it. Okay, that's it. Sometimes I put some cheeks, like this this one. Sometimes I do it, but not really. And that's it. Very easy, like, and I don't really do anything for my eyebrows. Oh, I forgot to do this. I forgot to do this. I'm in the book. I forgot to do this. I do this every time. So usually I don't really do anything for my eyebrows because I got a eyebrow tattoos while I was in Sydney. I got 2 tattoos actually. I got eyebrow tattoos and I have an actual tattoo here. This is kind of like the tattoo that I have. Like be a voice, not an echo. This is like tattoo I have. But yeah, I don't really do anything for my eyebrows because I have eyebrow tattoos. Okay, nothing special. But this is not a full makeup, okay? If I have a date with a guy that I like, I would do more. Probably I would do more. But currently, I don't have anyone that I have a crush on. I'm enjoying being single. I love where I am in life at the moment. Have you noticed I used 2 phrases that I learned in the script method? If you know the script method, I made a video that is explaining about script method. Like this is how I learn English vocabulary and phrases. I remember I used 2 phrases that I learned from script method. This one, I love where I am in life at the moment. And what else did I use? Oh, let me weigh up the pros and cons. This phrase is what I learned from other YouTubers. This is how I actually output what I have learned previously. If you learn it, try to use it. That's how you improve your English skill, okay? And I have more questions from you guys, but I don't think I can finish in one video, so I try to do it in the next video. I'm sorry, I don't really have time today, so I'll finish here. Thank you so much for watching this video, kind of like random. If you want to know more about the Clacel version 2, my product, the link is in the description down below. And next week, as I mentioned, I'm flying over to Canada, so stay tuned. And I will post a lot of videos in English in Canada, Vancouver. So I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.